5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Broadcasting worldwide from Painedemonium Studios in Cornwall, this is the Wal of Paine show on Phluid FM.
I don't know what I'm looking for. I guess you'll tell me in my dreams. I don't know what I'm searching for. You'll tell me in my dreams. Find your way into my heart, my heart. I don't know what I'm looking for. I guess you'll tell me in my dreams. I don't know what I'm searching for. I guess you'll
good evening and welcome to Wal of Paine here on Phluid Vision and Phluid FM. I'm Leo Bass Driver Paine and alongside me is Neil Waters.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by our very special guest and it's our first time doing this, so fingers crossed for no bugs. Everybody please welcome Lyn Rajah.
Hi.
That trumpeter's back again.
Ta-da!
Hello.
Hello, Lyn. How are you?
Good, thank you. Very well.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Great to see you.
Well, you're old friends, aren't you? But Lyn and I have never met, but I feel like we have now because we've been having a good old chit chat. We've done the show. Thank you for listening, everybody. Good night. That's
yeah. It's another one of those cases where like you say an awful lot of stuff off air, and it's like we should have been rolling when we were saying all of that.
Should have waited to say that, shouldn't we? Well, you just heard there. We had Fireflies and Voyager, Lyn.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Neil. Neil's been very warm. I've only met him a few minutes, but he's been really, really taken me under his wing. And Leo's brilliant. I've known Leo for a few years now.
It's been about 12 years, actually, isn't it? It's really been a long time. Yeah, it's quite surprisingly long time. I was looking at it because we had there's a memory shared on Facebook, and it was when we were doing the video for Americana.
Yes.
And that was like 12 years, I think, ago now.
Oh gosh, it's a while back. Yeah, it's gone quick.
Yeah, it really has. Like, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago at all. It's incredible how quickly time accelerates. I've been saying this to Neil recently, is it feels as though time is accelerating as we progress at the moment.
This week, time's slowed down though, because I've had the week from hell. But we're not going to bore any. We're not here to talk about my week from hell.
No.
We're here to talk about Lyn. Lyn, talk us through those first two tunes.
Yeah, so Fireflies is actually written this year, and I was actually going through quite a time of reflection. It was a bit of a challenging time back in May, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make sure I write something that means something to me about building confidence, but also that speaks to other people as well. So that's why I put the lyrics about believing in yourself, not giving up on things, and yeah, I haven't written a pop tune before, so it's more like a pop ballad, that one.
Yeah.
And Voyager was like, I kind of scrolled down a little short story of just in a few lines about somebody yearning for their true love and what would happen, and just kind of put some ideas together, and that's how Voyager was born.
Okay.
So that was my first electronica tracks, actually, Voyager.
Well, I've listened to, obviously Leo knows your music a little bit better, but I've been listening to it, and there is a very big distinction, isn't there, between you've got some electronic stuff and then there's the vocal stuff. We'll be playing quite a few, and there is a bit of a mixed bag coming up tonight. But one thing we've got a bit of feedback there. Yeah. One thing I was just going to ask, when you're saying about the lyrics and such, because we all obviously, you go through life and you do a little bit of lyric writing or poem writing. Do you sort of go out and just do something, and you'll be walking around the supermarket and you suddenly go, oh, that's a great line for a song, something just pops into your head? Or do you structure it more?
It's a mixture of both, actually. Sometimes I might sit down and really think about what I'm going to write about. But I did a songwriter course a few years ago, and the teacher on there, Helen, her artist name is Helen McCookery Book. She used to do like punk music, still does, I believe. And Martin Stevenson from the Dainties, they were the two tutors on the course, brilliant teachers, and they suggested like kind of walking around like with a notepad and a camera, kind of capturing like moments and ideas, and that was really, really helpful as a tip for us, songwriters. So I've kind of applied that sometimes as well. So
because we've got quite a close tie now, haven't we, Leo, with the Cameron Mills over at the Rock Project, and he works with students from 8 to 18, and they do covers mainly, but I think a lot of them now are starting to write their own songs. So that's interesting that you should say that. So little tips for, we had Bonnie Faustina, who we're going to play her song a little bit later, and get your spin on it.
Definitely.
But that's a good idea. But also, we should say to people who are listening and watching, you're saying you've been on a songwriting course, but you're also classically trained musician as well, on various accoutrements, shall we say.
So I actually started on the guitar and then trombone later on down the line. And started classical, then did some jazz, and then when I first started songwriting, studied folk. So the electronic is actually quite a new genre for me writing in, the synth wave and the dark synth. So I don't know, it just seemed to keep happening. I seemed to come up with ideas and running with them.
So that makes me gives me a question, because I've wondered this for a little while. Like, was there anything specifically that had you go, I'm going to start making more electronic stuff? Was it a consequence of lockdown, or was it just something you felt was a natural progression to start producing more electronically?
It's a really good question, actually, because what happened was I was actually working in a job I actually completely adored, and got made redundant due to COVID. And then I wasn't very lucky that year. Then I had another job that year with a startup company, and again got made redundant. And the second time round really made me think, you know what, I'm going to look on the bright side. Yes, it's not great to be made redundant, but this will be more time for some creative ideas and see what happens. And I joined up Twitter, I think it was back October 2020, and met online an artist called Nunny Boy, who I've since met in person, who's wonderful. And he really took me under his wing. He gave me a lot of pointers and suggested contacts and everything. And then I just started feeling more inspired and started writing. And then I wasn't planning on producing anything, and then I started using my ideas, and then came out with Horizon, which was the first song I'd actually produced myself. So then I thought, well, if I can do that, then I should try hard at doing more, and that's what happened.
Awesome.
Actually, whilst you're talking about that, because we're going to log you out and log you back in.
Yeah, typically I had started.
Should we play Horizon?
Yeah, you fancy Horizon now?
Sure.
Yeah.
You've got quite a few tunes of your people that have influenced you as well. I was just going to play your Madonna track as well.
I like Madonna.
Well, should we? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's log out and log you back in during Madonna, shall we? And we'll talk about Horizon then when we come back.
Alrighty then.
Cool.
Right, I've just got to find it now, because you've sent us so many songs. There she is.
There she is.
You can chop some.
That's right. We got it. We got it.
No, we're on it. That thankfully they're not like 10-minute anthems like the rock show last week.
Yeah, that was like we had to cut an Aussie tune off, didn't we?
Yeah. So we'll have "Open Your Heart" by Madonna, Lyn, and then we'll come back after Leo works his digital magic.
Hopefully, yeah. Fingers crossed. Ooh, and we're back in the room.
3, 2, 1, and we're back in the room. That was some quick, swift. For all those people who are not watching and can't see Leo turning his back to the camera, he's madly. For all those people actually who remember lockdown, which is everybody on the planet probably did a quiz at some point and used Zoom to do like a COVID quiz, and you had to keep re-inviting people back on the hour every hour to get the answers. That's what we've just done. Yeah. Oh, say we. It's the royal we. It's what Leo's just done.
Who remembers back in the day of like MSN, like Messenger, where you could just go forever, no limitations, no.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
But then Zoom came about, and probably you can pay for the premium Zoom, can't you? You can pay for every premium, but you just get we had the poor man's version where you just keep logging out and logging back in forever.
I'm not paying for that.
No.
I used to work with a bunch of people that actually worked on Skype. Actually, in Estonia,
that was kind of the first one, wasn't it? Skype,
it was pretty good at it, yeah. And then Microsoft came in and gutted that company. But anyway, so Madonna was your choice there.
Yes.
Why? It's probably a dumb question because Madonna is pretty influential. But
yeah. I mean, I loved her music ever since I was a kid, and Immaculate Collection was the first album I had of hers on cassette. And my late father, he was driving me to visit his friend in Norwich, and we'd taken down Immaculate Collection of Madonna to play down there. So we played it at the friend's house, and then I left the tape accidentally in the friend's hi-fi.
Oh no!
And was gutted that I just had the album case coming back to London. No. And the songs on that album just always stuck with me. Really, really love listening.
Since they stuck with her too.
Exactly.
Quite literally. I love the way, Lyn, you said hi-fi as well. I haven't heard anybody call a stereo system a hi-fi for a long time. That's great.
Well, it's funny you say that, because when the kids came in the other day, because we had the Rock Project in on Monday recording, when they came in, they saw I've got a Sony 1996 Sony hi-fi system up there. in that room. And a lot of them were like, "Whoa, what is that thing?"
Yeah. Hi-fi. It's when I sometimes, still to this day, say something about I'll say video or record, and I just say, sorry, I mean digital stream.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we just touched on it briefly before we logged you out and logged you back in, Lyn. You said Horizon is the first song that you have produced yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
And is this going to be on your new album then, this one?
No, I don't believe. Oh, hold on. Now you put me on the spot now. Possibly.
Okay.
No, it's on. It should be on the Alternative Blend, which is on Bandcamp at the moment.
Right.
But it's definitely on there. But it was inspired by Lilo Schifrin, who did a lot of film
Enter
composing.
the Dragon. Oh,
Yeah, because I used to do a lot of depping for a band called the Incredibly Strange Film Band, so I give them a shout out.
Yes.
Okay.
Great band.
They're great, and we played a lot of like soundtrack music, and it's really funky setup. We used to go and do lots of gigs around London, and I think that partly inspired Horizon. I just wanted it to be. Then it was maybe a little bit of rudimental influence with the keyboard at the beginning.
Nice.
It wasn't deliberate. I wasn't thinking, rudimental. Let's
Let's do
play
something
that.
like that.
It was just when I added the keyboard effect, it then did sound a little bit like something they'd used, and so it was a kind of accidental influence with that.
They were
I wanted
iconic.
something a bit more ambient, and then it kind of, the audience are thinking, this is nice and meditative. There's a bit of a beat halfway through that wakes everyone up.
There's I was going to say certain songs that I've listened to of yours as well. There's quite a lot of gating that goes on in the sort of what I would call as a muso the middle eight. I don't know whether in digital music you would still call it a middle eight because
absolutely. Musical principles still apply even in the digital realm.
Yeah. As a drummer, I'm always like, no, that's the middle eight, and just listen to how many beats there are on the bar. But there you go. That's my input. So let's have a listen to Horizon then.
Yeah.
Please,
which is potentially going to be on the new album, but we
is.
don't know
It's
yet.
on Bandcamp right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Answers on a postcard.
Well, all of these songs as well, I should say to anybody listening and watching, all of these songs I've managed to just find instantly straight away on Spotify, and I presume that, as we always say, all other platforms are available. Apple Music.
They're on. Yeah, you'll find a lot of them on Bandcamp and Spotify and Apple and Amazon.
Right, so here is Horizon. Let's go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in the room.
That is very chilled.
It is
Lyn.
a fantastically chilled tune now.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So yeah, like tell us a bit more about where that one came from then.
Oh goodness! So, I mean, I think I watched lots and lots of films, and I think that was partly why I've been inspired by Lila Schifrin on that one.
Yeah.
But I think I was in a bit of an ambient mood with this one as well, so I wanted to write something a bit chilled out and just see what people's reactions would be like to that. But also, you know, writing something that I liked as well. But it was quite funny because one of my relatives listened to it and they were like, "Oh, this is nice," and they got a bit of a wake up when it changed into the rhythmic section.
So Mini Driver just
that was
coughing in the background there. Sorry about that. Is there any particular Lila Schifrin that is your favourite? Because I quite like The Thing. The Thing is one of my favourites by Schifrin.
Yeah, I've seen The Thing. I think I love his soundtracks to the Dirty Harry films and Enter the Dragon. I think those are probably, you know, maybe Enter the Dragon might have been
When
a bit of a...
When you're talking about The Thing, you're talking about John Carpenter's The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing, yeah, not the original Thing from outer space.
No, John Carpenter's The Thing, one of my all-time... Now, I'm not a massive sci-fi fan, as you know, but that's one of my all-time favourite films. It's more of a horror film, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. What do you call it? Lovecraftian.
We'll have to
so, like, Mini Driver's just in the room making some rather odd noises.
We have live interference.
Yes. It's like Studio Cat. Last week it was Studio Cat, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. But it's a very good film. I've watched that so many times when I was younger because it was quite fast at its time when that came out again. Brilliant, you know, all pre-CGI, I guess, and just brilliant effects. But I was more, I think, about the effects than the soundtrack when it came out.
I think with The Thing, it is quite a basic soundtrack, isn't it? It's largely just that bass line sort of dum bum.
Is it Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell is in.
Yeah, Kurt Russell. I've got the DVD a bit, but I haven't watched it for years. I've got
Yeah. Okay. You carry on. I'll just deal with this in a second.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, we've got Mini Driver coming to the studio, Lyn, and he's I think he's pretending to be the studio cat, but there you go. Because Big Lebowski seems to have disappeared. But yeah, no, I mean, one thing I was going to say, just listening to that track there particularly, because obviously the two opening tracks that we had are vocal tracks, and that's just purely instrumental.
Yes,
so, from your point of view and your perspective, is there a big difference, and would you say one is particularly harder or easier? Because obviously you can have a vocal hook, you can have a vocal melody, and 90% of the people, I guess, that listen to a tune for the first time listen to the singer, don't they? So you've got to really make an instrumental engage, otherwise people are going to switch off after. We're going, where's the vocals? What's happening? So is it more difficult, do you think, to write an instrumental?
I think it's actually... I think when I first started writing, I found it easier to write instrumental.
Right.
Because in the beginning, it was like, how I'm going to... I don't know, I think I put a pressure on myself in the beginning. Should my lyrics be rhyming? Should they not be rhyming? You know, what should I do? But I don't find it difficult writing either vocal or instrumental now. But what I try and do with the instrumental is maybe try and think of a little bit of a hook or some kind of theme. And with the vocals, I think most of the time I write the lyrics first, but sometimes I might, you know, approach it differently and put an idea down first. Yeah. And then kind of layer the lyrics on top.
I mean, it is interesting because there's infinite ways of doing it. I remember reading an article about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and apparently all the musicians just get together, they write the song, and then at the last minute Kiedis just comes in and writes some lyrics to go with pretty much. He's quite removed from the songwriting process and comes in and puts the lyrics on. And like you're just saying there, maybe you'll sometimes start with lyrics. I mean, there's no right or wrong way, but there's an infinite...
I mean, I've built up a bit more experience. I don't mind writing either. I find it, you know, less challenging. Whereas when I was a little 17-year-old doing my A-levels at school, I found it quite hard, kind of thinking, you know, writing those lyrics and finding a melody that matched. Whereas A-levels. Now I don't. But I had a collaboration recently, which was out next month with an artist called Paul Lawrence,
Oh,
and he
okay.
wrote some beautiful lyrics for a song called Sail Away. So he did the lyrics, and then I wrote the music for that.
Perfect.
And I'm thinking, I haven't really, done many collaborations. I've done with the lovely Leo earlier this year with I Thank You, but there were some collaboration horrors earlier in the year.
Let's not mention them.
No, those are the ones I like the
I got a couple of
most.
offers to do collaborations, and unfortunately it turned out that both artists wanted more than a collaboration, and I had to very politely decline.
Okay.
And that kind of made me very wary, not with Leo, because Leo's a good friend, but
Yeah.
with the other collaborations invitations, I was like, oh gosh. But Paul's an absolute gem.
Right.
He's like really sound as a pound, really good egg.
Because we
And
had your
just
dream
a bit-
collaboration in the newspaper article, didn't we?
Yes, in this week.
So, yes, I mean, like Leo was amazing to do the collaboration with on I Thank You, and luckily I had the same good experience with Paul. But yeah, I won't mention the artists that gave me.
This is the thing. It's
I'll
just
keep their names out of it.
yeah. It's just such a minefield out there, though, isn't it? Like as you grow in profile and recognition, you start attracting some of the crazies, right?
Oh dear, no! It was like, you're from London. Where are you from? It started off all a bit innocent, and then it was like, well, we should do some music sometime. And you're thinking, okay, this is a bit soon because I don't know you very well. But then, and this is with the one that wasn't a good experience. And then before you know it, it was like we could have fun, winky face, and it wasn't the kind of musical fun. And it was like, no, just
exactly.
Do you know what, Lyn? Just before we do TrakLink, which is one of our features on the half an hour. It's interesting just to hear you saying about where are you from? Oh, I live in London. My youngest, Claire, was saying to me the other day, and I thought, actually, that's a very valid point. And she said, I can almost hear Michael McIntyre with, running with this. When you meet somebody, what makes this okay? Because they'll go, oh, yeah, and whereabouts are you? What do you mean? Well, where do you live? And you'll tell them the town, and they go, and what part of town? And you're like, why? Are you going to be stalking me?
Yeah.
What difference does it really make?
I've had that before, and I've kind of like, if it's someone like I've built a rapport with, and I've known them for got to know them over a time, then I don't mind saying what town I live in. But if it's someone I don't know so well, and they keep asking, then I might be like, well, actually, maybe 10 miles from central London.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do you live? Aberdeen.
Yeah. It's like the modern day equivalent of we were mentioning MSN earlier, MSN Messenger. The modern day equivalent of ASL. Like when you see that message, it's like ban, block. But you mentioned as well the Rolling Stone thing that you mentioned as well. Like that's a really good point.
So if
for
anyone's
people to be
watching this
careful
video,
of.
please be mindful that there are a lot of good people out there in the music business, but there's also a lot of shady people. And I think I had a really good day, the day of the Rolling Stone one, where I'd had really nice chap called Rodney Prosser sent me a really nice compliment about my music. He's joined a band called the New Nose, formed a band, with Ben Leach. I think I'm trying to remember names. So that was a really positive experience. And that same day, I then got a private message through Instagram saying it was from this editor from Rolling Stone. I thought, oh, this sounds a bit far-fetched, but let's do a bit of checking on Google. Does this name exist? Is this profile looking dodgy or genuine, etc., etc.? And the link on their Instagram did take you to a genuine website for this person. Yeah. And the photograph on the profile matched this person. And this person was on Wikipedia, everything. But then, so I was running it past the husband, saying, "Oh, do you think I'm worried a bit here or not?" And then it was when you started to see the message more, and it was like, hold on, you're saying you're a senior editor, but this is filled with spelling mistakes. Something's not right here. Yeah. So that was Rolling Stone.
Have to be careful. No.
Well, I mean, I was just saying.
Sorry, no disrespect to the real Rolling Stone.
I mean, this is just a very valid warning to anyone out there. If someone comes to you and they want to publish an article involving yourself, at no point are they about to ask you for money for it. That's a
Yeah.
big red flag. So don't ever honestly, this happens. I've
Yeah.
had it so much. Like Lyn, you gave me a shout, and I was instantly, yeah, I've seen this before. Even agents. You know, people will approach you and say, I'm an agent, here's some bands that I've
Yeah.
worked with. You'll go do some background checks and names will check out. And
Yeah.
it will appear as if
Yeah.
these people are sound. And then
Yeah.
the next thing, you know, they're like, okay, well, you know, just pay us this or whatever, or give us your bank details. It's
Yeah.
just like, come
Yeah.
on.
This
Okay,
is
give
what
me 2
Leo's
seconds.
saying is like, you know, anyone watching this interview, like what Leo's saying is very wise. And the trouble was, this guy seemed really genuine in the beginning, and then he was like, well, he had his own personal email in his bio and everything else, and was asking me to send like my links to my songs. And then it was only after I sent them, then he's saying, oh well, you know, I can do this for free, but we need a publication fee of $100. So I wrote back
Yeah.
and said, sorry, but I don't pay for interviews.
No.
And he said, oh okay. Then he was like, oh okay then.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and on to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had this
Be
thing
careful,
earlier.
folks.
We had this thing earlier, Lyn, when I said if I'm checking my watch, it's to stop Leo going down rabbit holes and
Yeah.
things.
Which I just did. Brilliantly.
So we do this thing. If you've listened to the show before, you'll know. So it's called TrakLink. So at 7:30 or 25 to 8, and 8 o'clock and 8:30, we play 3 songs, and there is a connection to the songs. So you have to note these down and try and work out the connection. Leo's chosen this week's, and what's the first song in the TrakLink, Leo?
Well, I've chosen this week, and I've chosen carefully as well because, Lyn, I have a habit of sometimes choosing super obscurely difficult ones. Like this particular bassist happened to meet a guy on the bus once that was also the bassist for this guy or something. So this week I've tried to go for something a little more direct, and this week our first TrakLink is Americana by Yourself.
Here we go.
So
Thank
here
you.
we go.
Time is short, we're running late, train is here. We can't be late, catch your breath. You're free again, reach your happy medium. The sunset's coming and it's ours for the taking. It's a perfect dream we're living, though it's not a dream. And now we're waking and living and taking and giving. You've got a ticket to do what you want to do. Put your hand in mine, and take my hand in yours. Mindless people try to bring you down, but don't you worry. Your trains are waiting and your ticket's here, so time to hurry. Time is short, we're running late, train is here. We can't be late, catch your breath. You're free again, you're free again. Got this traveling bug that stay the night on that train. Train of life flying into the night. Stars in the sky tonight, shining bright. Here with the stars all above for the taking. It's a perfect dream we're living, though it's not a dream. And now we're waking and living and taking and giving.
There you go, Americana.
We talked about rhyming lyrics.
Yeah.
Those are good rhyming lyrics, aren't they?
Like that. Yeah, that's a fantastic tune still. And that was on the Travel Tales EP, wasn't it?
Oh yes, it was on Travel Tales. That's right.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about that, because it's fantastic EP.
Yeah. So Americana, I went to California. Gosh, when was it now? I think it was around 2008, and I think that was what was behind the influences for that song, because it was so stunning out there, beautiful landscapes, just wonderful experience, and I just kind of run away in my head with the landscapes and just kind of set the lyrics after that.
It is a lovely song, that, when I played that for the first time, and I just thought it's really nice the way the vocal melody goes with the guitar and those lovely high little guitar picks, and it is a beautiful song.
It was recorded on the Big Brother of this mix, all right?
Was it?
Yeah. It's 1640 Ivory Sparrow.
Oh, you two go back along, don't you?
We go back.
Lyn, we're just talking earlier as well, because Leo always champions the fact that Phluid Records is the home of new music, independent music, supporting live music, and I think, as you know, three musicians, vicariously in the same room, we all do appreciate new music and live music. And I came across there's a couple that I'm going to run by you whilst you're on, because this is good.
Sure.
He's a German chap. I'd never heard of him at all. He's just literally put out his very first single, and he goes under the name of Saint Jiggx, so Saint Jiggx.
Oh, I don't know.
And he's put this song out called Bitte Gär. So for those, do you know?
Bitter means please, doesn't it?
Bitter means
German.
please.
Yeah, please leave in German.
Yeah, please
Bitte
leave.
Oh.
This means, or please go.
Mm-hmm.
And because he came across and he was on Instagram, I just direct messaged him, and I thought, well, he'll either get back to me or he won't. And we had this lovely little chat between the two of us. And he says, "Greetings from Germany." And I said, "We'll be playing your song. Can you just explain a little bit about it?" And so he said, "Well, Bitte Gär, as you say, is please leave or please go."
Mm-hmm.
And it was written, he said, about his ex, and then what he called fake friends. He said, sort of kind of during and after the lockdown, a lot of fake friends, and they had to go. And I played this song, and I thought, it's fantastic. So we're going to play it now as part of our new music.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And have a listen. And,
have a listen and tell us what you think.
See what you think. So this is Saint Jiggx and Bitte Gär.
Scene 98.
Wenn du mich siehst, ist es zu spät. Will dich nicht wiedersehen. Bitte geh, ja bitte geh. Wenn du mich siehst, ist es zu spät. Will dich nicht wiedersehen. Bitte geh, ja bitte geh. Wenn du mich siehst, ist es zu spät. Will dich nicht wiedersehen. Bitte geh, ja bitte geh. 1 Uhr nachts, ich bin wach, denk wieder dran, was du grad so machst. Find keinen Schlaf, ich hol dich ab, bist du noch wach. Coco in meinem Blut, ich glaub mir geht's nicht gut. Fühlt sich an, als wär ich tot. Hab den Teufel zu Besuch. Ja, jetzt geht es los. Kauf ein Haus nur mit 2 Songs. Nur mit 2 Songs. Nur mit 2 Songs. Wenn du mich siehst, ist es zu spät. Will dich nicht wiedersehen. Bitte geh, ja, bitte geh. Wenn du mich siehst, ist es zu spät. Will dich nicht wiedersehen. Bitte geh, ja, bitte geh. Wegen dir bin ich so down. Ich kann dir nicht mehr vertrauen. Heute bin ich nur am Manizieren. Du willst mich nie wiedersehen. Nie wiedersehen. In meinem Kopf ist Rauschgift, glaub's nicht. Flieg uns so wie ein Raumschiff, traurig. Dass Brüder alle down sind, ja. Ich war da für dich, als es niemand war. Du bist abgehauen, als du mein Herz brachst. Du hast mich ausgelacht, fühlte mich so schwach. Doch heute bin ich der von uns beiden lacht. Wenn du mich siehst, ist es zu spät. Will dich nicht wiedersehen. Bitte geh, ja, bitte geh. Wenn du mich siehst, ist es zu spät. Will dich nicht wiedersehen. Bitte geh, ja, bitte geh.
We're on.
There you go.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, bitter girl. What do you think of that, Lyn?
I really liked it. It's funny though, because at the beginning I thought it was going to go really, really grungy.
Oh, right.
I really liked grunge music, and I heard a little riff at the beginning, but it was like almost like a fusion of like R&B, pop and grunge. I really liked the combination. Yeah, my head was nodding away to that one.
This is the thing. I mean, we get some sort of like streams that come across and come across what I call the virtual desk, and something just jumps out, and a lot of them are just like meh. And that one, I was like, oh, like that.
Yeah.
And there's another one that we've got for our new music slot next week, which similarly kind of sort of jumps out. Yeah. We're going to have to log out and log back in again
in about 8 minutes.
So, well, if you want to do it now, what we'll do is we'll play another one of your tunes, Lyn. You've chosen a Jamiroquai track.
Oh, yes.
He's funky, isn't he? Jamiroquai, When You Gonna Learn. So what's that one all about for you?
Oh, when I was a teenager, I loved Jamiroquai to the point I learned all the words of that track.
Right, okay.
I would kind of rap along to it, and just like that he was caring about the planet, and that he wrote brilliant funky music, and just adored everything Jamiroquai. I used to go around with a green and gold Jamiroquai t-shirt,
excellent,
a fake fur hat that looked like his one,
brilliant,
and a pretend medallion.
Excellent. Brilliant. I can see you in that. It's a good look. Has Tom got it on in the background there, out of camera?
He hasn't seen it. He bless him. He's in the other.
Is there a photo of that?
He's working away. He's working away in the other room.
Is there a photo of that? Like, is it possible I may have seen a photo?
There's not actually no evidence of this t-shirt and hat combo.
Oh, don't worry, we've got.
Is that intentional?
We've got Photoshop, Lyn. There can be one very quickly.
Smartphones, kids.
Yeah.
All the days of social media.
Oh, it'd have to be one of those lovely 35mm snaps. Yeah.
No, I was just saying we have got Photoshop, Lyn. There can be one by Monday.
Oh dear.
So we'll play Jamiroquai then. When You're Gonna Learn.
Yep. I'll send you another invite.
Send you another invite. You can jump round your sitting room rapping.
And we'll be right back.
We will be, yeah. Here we go with a bit of Jamiroquai.
Evening, chaps. I'm Monty Tom. When I'm building an erection with my bare hands in an old lady's back garden, while she has a puzzled look on her face, hoping it won't blow away, I love nothing more than listening to Phluid FM.
Thanks, Monty.
Thank you, Monty. Who is in the chat room? Welcome along, Monty.
Monty.
Hello.
Lyn, we're going to have a quiz.
Yeah, a quick quiz. You like a quick quiz?
Yeah.
Have you got a pen and a piece of paper?
I've got a pen and a pizza box.
that'll do.
Even better, yeah.
That's absolutely even
Awesome.
better. This is
I hear that's how Shakespeare wrote. Sorry, I was going to say Tristan and Isolde. Then I mean
What, on a
Romeo
pizza
and
box?
Juliet. Yeah,
Did he?
I was mixing up Wagner with Shakespeare there. God, jeez.
You mixed up. You've been too long in the Bach garden.
Yes, Sebastian Bach Garden.
I wonder if they had just eat in Shakespeare. Thou just eateth, and he'd like send out for a pizza. Handwritten.
Ooh, it's
Talking of
handwritten this
Shakespeare.
time. Oh, excellent.
It's a bit
Yeah.
fancy pants.
Cool.
Leo, you keep the score.
I'll
According
do
to
that.
Rufus Periwinkle, Lyn, who writes our quizzes on a weekly basis, we should get 6 out of 6 for the Halloween.
I hope so. Oh, God.
Normally I get 2.
Yeah, I've had a couple of bum ones the last few weeks as well, haven't I?
Yeah.
Whoops.
So if you're, we'll have a quick quiz.
Last
do
week's
the-
was pretty good though. The metal one, we managed to get most of the metal quiz.
You did manage to get most of that. That's because I set it and it was easy.
Yeah.
We'll do a quick quiz and then we'll play the second track link and then we'll come back with the answers to the quiz after we've done the track link. That's all going to work.
Dude, we're actually running on time here as
We
well.
didn't get those drinks in the fridge, did we? But never mind, we'll do that.
They're still cool.
Cool.
I'll get the other fridge fixed. I do have a fridge for downstairs.
We
I'll
need
get
a,
that
we need a
fixed.
green room fridge.
It's
So,
a Red Bull fridge. Thank you very much. Yeah.
all sponsorships. If Red Bull would like to send us some money.
It was a sponsorship for my old pub. Funnily enough,
Oh,
I
was
probably
it?
shouldn't mention that, but it was a sponsorship from the old pub. We never used the thing, and eventually it's ended up here.
Just like to point out that other energy drinks are available. Should other energy drink manufacturers also want to send us some money?
Yeah, Monster, get on.
Monster. Oh, cool. With Halloween. Right, are we ready?
Okay, time for the quiz.
Yeah.
Question number 1. Which artist released the single Feed My Frankenstein in 1991? So which artist released the single Feed My Frankenstein in 1991? I'm already not going to get 6 out of 6. Write down your answers.
Feed my Frankenstein.
Question number 2.
I know this is the wrong answer, but I'm going to put one
Oh,
down
question
anyway.
number 2, Lyn. This is one specifically. This couldn't have been written better for you. Who narrates the music video for Michael Jackson's Thriller?
Ah.
Yeah.
Right, I know this
Yeah,
one.
that's I know that one there. Number 3, in Bobby Pickett's Monster Mash, we do the mash.
Yeah.
Where was he working late one night when his eyes beheld an eerie sight?
Oh,
you,
dear.
You do the mash. You got to go through the lyrics. When my eyes beheld an eerie sight. So where was he working late when his eyes beheld an eerie sight? Question number 4. In the Friends, that's the sitcom episode,
that is horrific. Yeah.
the one with the Halloween party, who wears a pink bunny costume? So that's in the Friends episode about Halloween, who wears a pink bunny costume. Question number 5. Have you got that one, Lyn? Yeah, you got an answer?
Yeah.
Which rock singer famously bit the head off a live bat during a concert in 1982? I think we know that one. And question number 6, which famous horror movie features the Bates Motel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so we're going to play part 2 of TrakLink whilst we think about the answers to the quiz.
Yep.
And this is Leo.
Part 2 of TrakLink, just to remind you, part 1 was Americana by Lyn Rajah. The second TrakLink is Pretty Fly for a White Guy by The Offspring.
What a banger!
There you go, just rocking out there.
Sorry, I completely forgot to write that onto the playlist as well. That's Pretty Fly for a White Guy, isn't it? Offspring.
Yeah, any clues so far, Lyn, on what the TrakLink might be? You got any thoughts?
The only thing I can think of the link so far is that Americana is influenced by America, and the second track is by American artists, but I can't think of anything
Excellent.
more than that.
Okay. Well, everyone out there in our chat room, Dawn Lee, Claire, and Monty, and
we got
everyone else,
Monty.
do let us know what you guys think. That's a good guess, but not quite there.
Along the right lines, potential.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Here's the answers to the Halloween quiz.
Yeah.
This is good. I like this Halloween quiz.
Mm.
Spooky.
Ooh, I should have had
We need some. I haven't got any
sound
special
effect for
effects.
this. Yeah, we're not doing amazingly well for our Halloween special this week, are we?
No.
Although Prouty did one last night, Spooky Night Out last night.
He did.
Shouty to Prouty. So that will be up as soon as I get a spare 5 minutes to upload stuff.
So not this week then.
I'll try. I'll try to get it up tomorrow if I can.
I do have a very scary mask. May I go and get it quickly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, have you got a mask?
I'll be 1 second.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
no worries. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, is it as scary as Prouty's scary mask? As soon as you see the answer to number 1, you're going to kick yourself.
Yep. Okay, so the first question was who did my what was it? Be My Frank?
Which artist released the single "Feed My Frankenstein"? But I want to see because we need to wait for Lynn to get back.
Yeah,
She's
that's
doing her
right.
answers.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, wow. Oh, it is. Look at
hello.
that. That's what's it? Friday the
Jason.
13th.
Hello, Jason Voorhees is with us. Brilliant.
I thought I'd be in the mood, in the right frame for the Halloween quiz.
Fantastic.
Are you?
Excellent.
Is your dream collaboration Slipknot, Lynn?
That could be quite good though.
Yeah.
You know, what was it we
Slipknot
played?
featuring Lyn Rajah? That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Hey, you know what? We should hook you guys up. You should hook up with Leo Maracchioli, and then you could do an acoustic and banjo version of some Slipknot.
Yes, with Rob Scallion, or Rob Scallion, I should say. That's a great mask, that is.
Yeah, awesome.
Are you going out trick or treating in that?
No.
Right.
That's what she went shopping with during lockdown. That was her face mask.
Oh, is it? Yeah. You need to. All shoppers need to wear a face mask. What about this one?
Yeah, exactly. No one's bothering you in the queue then, are they?
Right, here we go with these quiz answers. And which artist released the single "Feed My Frankenstein" in 1991? It was
Alice
Alice.
Cooper.
Oh yes, Alice Cooper.
Excellent.
Well
There you
done.
go.
Lynn
Lynn's
gets
got
one.
Brilliant.
Score Lynn up
Well
for
done.
1. I put Ramones.
Yep.
Leo put B-52s.
So, but I was stuck thinking of
Alice
Fred
Cooper.
Schneider's Monster in My Pants, wasn't I?
Right, question number 2. We all got this one, I think. Who narrates the music video for Michael Jackson's Thriller? One of your favourite actors, Lynn?
John Landis. You said who directs the?
Who narrates in the music?
Oh, narrates.
Yeah.
Vincent Price.
Oh, well, you get bonus points.
Vincent Price,
You
yeah.
get bonus point because you got Vincent Price and you also got John Landis who directed the video. So
John
that's
Landis, from American Wealth in London, my
Exactly.
favourite film.
So bonus point
Ever.
for Lynn there.
Question number 3. Bobby Pickett's Monster Mash, where was he working when his eyes beheld an eerie sight?
Shop.
No.
Tesco's.
Leo?
I said graveyard.
And I said the mortuary. It was the lab. So the
Oh, the
mortuary is the
lab.
closest, but
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't have a point for that.
Oh well.
In the Friends episode, the one with the Halloween party, who wears a pink bunny costume?
Rachel.
Nope.
I said Ross.
Nope.
Oh wow.
I said Chandler.
Mhm.
It's Chandler.
Ah, so there you go. So you got that.
Yeah.
Number 5. Which rock singer is famously bit the head off a live bat?
Ozzy Osbourne.
It was Ozzy Osbourne. That's the
Ozzy.
correct answer.
Well, what I wrote down.
Ozzy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And which famous horror movie features the Bates Motel? Whip, 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 whip.
Psycho.
Psycho. And
absolutely.
we all got Psycho. So, Lynn, how many
So-
did you get?
So Lynn.
I'm not sure on how many I got for question 2, but 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 or 5.
You
4 or
got
5. You got
Yep.
5.
There's a
Leo,
bonus
how many
point.
did you get?
I got Vincent Price, Ozzy Osbourne. I won't say that one. Ozzy Osbourne and Psycho.
So
I
you
got
got 3, and I got Chandler in there as well. So I got 4.
Yeah.
Oh, we were
There you
supposed
go.
to get 6. We didn't, but never mind.
That first one was a good question actually, because it's a very recognisable tune, but not necessarily immediately
Alice
recognisable as the artist.
And of course, it's Alice Cooper when you
of
say
course it
Alice.
is. Yeah, it makes total sense.
Easy when you know how, isn't it?
there you
Oh,
go.
well, there you go.
Thank you to Rufus for our.
We'll
quiz.
have another tune in. Do you want one of your songs, or do you want one of your songs that you've chosen? So, i.e., do we want a Lyn Rajah song, or do we want
What
song?
about is I Thank You on the list?
It is, because that's you and Leo, isn't it?
Yeah, is that possible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
doable, yeah.
It's your show. You can do what you like.
Yeah.
You've waited a month for this.
Well, 4 months actually. We were saying just before you turned up. I was like, I mentioned this 4 months ago.
Oh, Leo did all the mixing and mastering on this one, so big thanks to Leo.
From down here, or from
This is actually the first project out of this studio.
So Lynn, did you come down to Cornwall?
No, I was actually. It's all done remotely.
Yeah. Using the
was
exclusive
this-
remote services.
Was this during lockdown then that you did
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. This
think
was
so.
December to January. This last Christmas, New Year.
And
yeah.
I do believe, I know we've played this song before on one of our shows on season 1. So I thank you then, Lyn. Who do you thank? Who is it thanking?
Oh. I think it was. Oh, this is a tough one. So it was partly my husband,
Right.
but then I had a really good friend I made through the Twitter world who'd been giving a lot of support as well. So I think it's some bit of a hint towards the friends on Twitter and also the hubby. And I don't know, it was just like a simple thing. I just kind of thought about what does everyone like drinking? A lot of people like drinking tea or coffee, but for some reason I went with coffee, even though I drink tea. Don't ask.
Well, maybe that was your song. That was down to your songwriting course.
We've got a.
No, but I basically went to Leo and said, "Look, I've done this song. Please, can you help me tidy this up?" And Leo did magic. Really,
It was great quality in the first. I say this a lot because we were talking about the remix I did for My Painted Smile as well. It helps when what you start with is really well produced and well recorded in the first place.
Again, Leo, we're not here to talk about my band.
You again. But no, I mean seriously, like you recorded it all on iPhone 13, was it?
yeah. It's all the music I write is through a phone. I don't have a computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And do Apple then send you loads of like royalty checks for
Not yet. Not yet. But if you want to have a word with Apple, you know, you can be my guest.
We'll get Prouty to tweet them. How's that? I mean, we can't make any promises.
But again, it is testament to like how things have evolved. Like when the kids were in, I was talking to one of them, the lead singer in here, and he was talking about how he's got a little setup at home where he's got a speaker and a keyboard and a little computer. And I wish I had the photo of my first home studio, which was exactly the same: a speaker, a computer, that 2-track reel to reel. And it is just amazing, like the testament to the quality of sound you can get out of a device that fits in your pocket. Robin Dillnut, big shout to Robin and the Diddly D's. I'm working with her at the moment, and similarly, her tune was originally produced on an iPhone, I think it was as well.
It's a testament maybe to if you've got the ability to do something, you can do it no matter what.
Exactly. It's not the technology; it's the artist behind it.
It's exactly that, Leo. Yeah. Well, let's have I Thank You then.
Yeah.
This is only we've got to be careful. This is 1 minute 44. I've got to be on this.
This leads on to one of the other questions, doesn't it?
Oh, okay. There you go. Let's play it.
Special, which I have known all along. I hope you'll miss me when drinking coffee. I hope you'll miss me when drinking coffee. I hope you'll miss me when drinking coffee all the time.
There you go. Blink and you miss it.
You do blink and you miss it. That was a song by Paul Weller. Blink and you miss it. Blink and you just might miss it. Yeah. That's Lyn. I would describe that song as unusual.
Yeah.
Because it's quite discordant, dark in a way. Considering the title is I Thank You, it sounds to me, that might just be my untrained ear, but it's an unusually structured song, I would say.
It wasn't meant to be a dark song. Funny enough, the beginning was was the use of a royalty-free loop at the beginning. That kind of and the rest was me inputting in the keyboard part and everything else. But it really wasn't intended to be a dark song. It was meant to be a kind of light-hearted,
I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's
I know what you mean.
It's unusual.
I think you're referring to the discordant nature of it.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like most people don't go discordant in this day and age with anything.
No.
Like production wise, unless it's something like IDM or something like that. Something a bit deeper and off course. So it's not really a mainstream thing at all. So that's probably what sort of set you off there a little bit. It's like you're not expecting a discordant thing.
Not at all. I mean, it certainly does make you remember the tune, because I remember when we did play that a while ago, and it kind of does have something that you're like, and because it's that 1 minute 44, it's kind of like it's done, and you're like, oh, I need to go back and I need to hear that again because of
Yeah, I mean that brings me to the question really, like, because I've mentioned this on the show a few times when we played it the last time as well, and also because it's come up a few times in other conversation. So you've made a few tunes that are quite short. Is it a conscious decision? Does that decision have anything to do with anything other than your own preference? Because we were talking about those guys that Spotify weren't really paying them enough, so they decided to release like 15 albums of 20-second long tunes, which gamed the system, and then obviously Spotify shut them down. So I just wondered if any of that was an influence in shortening these tunes, or whether there's a structural reason for it.
I mean, to begin with, no. I mean, it was just like whatever ideas came up at the time. But then I did a while back, like, submit some tracks to be listened to by BBC Introducing, and I think I might have read someone's post online on Twitter or some a similar platform where somebody was saying the track is a little bit shorter, and maybe subconsciously that's where the shorter tracks have come from. But funny enough, the latest track I've had out, called Torment, which is the dark synth instrumental, that's actually about 4 minutes long, so it does vary. But I mean, you are right, a lot of my tracks are quite short.
Yeah, well, this is the thing through working through Travel Tales. Obviously, they were somewhat longer tunes, and
they were longer. Yeah, because I remember I was working in Plank Studio with Steve and Richie and putting those all together, and they were certainly longer. Sea Green was another track on that EP, and that was a lot longer than some of the things I write right now. So
I think again though, it's a good mix, isn't it? Because you've got short tunes, long, you've got vocal, you've got instrumental. There's the whole kind of gamut is a very good way of describing it. But a lot of people they're kind of like a one-trick wonder though, aren't they? And all their songs are very, very similar, and that can kind of get, I mean, it's okay if you've got a similar album, I guess, but after time it's like it's a bit wearing because there's no change, there's no trying to do something sort of that might be out of your comfort zone or something along those lines. And this brings oh, go on. I was going to say this brings us to
oh, so sorry now. I was going to say there is a bit of a reason behind the different genres as well. I think one of my close relatives, my brother, passed away a few years ago, and he was a big part of musically supporting me. And one thing he said to me years and years ago, he mentioned to me about Damon Albarn, how he writes a lot of different genres and very original. And it wasn't until years later I started writing a selection of different genres. So I don't know, maybe something in what his words were to me all those years ago kind of subconsciously.
My friend Claire, who's listening in, she's just put a comment up on the chat room saying very Kate Bushy.
So she gets a
now that depends on whether you like Kate Bush.
I think Kate Bush is amazing. But
so there you go. There's a good compliment then.
I do love Kate Bush, but I Thank You was meant to be a slight nod to kind of the 80s and 90s female soul music. So it was. It was a different intention I meant.
So now that's interesting. You mentioned 80s and 90s kind of soul music, because our last TrakLink features someone
Yes.
but is very much in that
It
category,
does.
and that also has links to other things, believe it or not, as
And
well.
I was just going to play our other little bit of, whilst you've just done that track there, which I was saying has got some discordia, if you like, in it. The young girl that came through the rock project that we played, and I said, I'll play you her song. She's a 13-year-old, Bonifastina. Leo was saying also she's very reminiscent of the girl who's singing on our last TrakLink. But have a listen to this then, Lyn. This is 13-year-old Bonifastina. She's in our column this week in the paper,
this week's
isn't she?
Cornish Times. Yeah.
This is her debut single. It's called Paper Aeroplane. So hopefully Bonnie's listening as well, or she'll be listening again.
Yeah.
See what you think of this for a tune.
Yeah.
My heart was beating after the breakdown. You left me there crying in the town. Mascara running down my face, it's disgrace. But now you're going away with a girl called Grace. She had blue eyes and natural hair. I think it was blonde or brown, I wouldn't care, but I would when you made a lot of memories of her. What about us and the times we had? All I can say is we were in love one time, but then it flew away. Something happened that morning in our favorite cafe. Left me on the spot, not knowing what to say. So I wrote you a message on a paper airplane. We found it in your backyard, me telling you to stay, but you completely ignored it without saying goodbye, babe. So when you went to France, I sat in my room all day. I really wanted to see you. They said I won't make it on a paper aeroplane. 5 years later you wanna see me again, but I'm sorry, I've got a husband called Ken. Years ago I wanted to meet you, but you were just a cheater, so I decided to take my mind off. You should have thought about that at the start, before you decided to break my heart. I had lots of memories of Ken, but now you're here again. All I can think about is when I said we were in love one time, but then it flew away. Something happened that morning in our favorite cafe. You left me on the spot, not knowing what to say. So I wrote you a message on a paper airplane. You found it in your backyard, me telling you to stay, but you completely ignored it without saying goodbye, babe. So when you went to France, I sat in my room all day. I really wanted to see you. They said I won't make it on a paper aeroplane.
And
There you go. That's what I meant about this. When I heard that, I thought it's not discordant, but you know what I mean. It's similar to your "I Thank You" in that kind of jarring, jangly way.
Jarring, jangly.
But you know what I mean. But in a good way. That appeals to me.
Your verbosity astounds me.
I know. But you know what? That kind of dark side, that dark kind of jarring. When I grew up, I mean, I went through punk and then like into the anarcho-punk crass and stuff like that, and then into the gothic stuff, and it's all kind of that dark, jarring music, and I like that. It's good. So I'm putting that forward. If anybody's listening, it's a positive thing for me very much.
What do you think of that, Lyn?
I thought she's got an excellent voice, and funny enough, I'm not sure if anyone would agree with me, but the rhythms in the beginning reminded me a little bit of Massive Attack's song Teardrop.
Yes.
It's called Teardrop.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
reminded me of that at the beginning.
It's
but
funny
her
you
voice
mentioned
is
that.
Superb.
Okay, so I
It
didn't
is good,
notice at
isn't
the
it?
time when we first played this, because obviously the management of this is Thomas Cameron,
Yeah.
obviously our good friend at the Rock Project, and he didn't let me know at the time, but once we played the tune, checking out Facebook for Bonnie, and there she is in Bristol, and they recorded it in Bristol, and I believe it's Montpellier where they recorded it at a studio that I once went to in Bristol as well, and that may be part of it. Like their engineer, very very fine engineer lady, I can't remember her name now, but there is a distinct possibility that there's a bit of a direct influence there, what with Massive Attack being from Bristol.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said Depeche Mode.
That was a good guess,
overtones
wasn't
as
it?
well.
Yeah, well, that it is very evocative of a Massive Attack tune. I was also saying Dave Arnold and Bjork play Dead, and Nelly Hooper, that sort of production, around about homogenic or post sort of era of Bjork. There's an
Depeche
awful lot of
Mode was one that came to mind
Yeah,
as well, and
yeah,
I can hear that in there.
Yeah, the very beginning of it, very much I was just thinking, what do you call it, Violator album around about that period of Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
So have you got any tips for Bonnie? See, she's only 13, young girl to produce something so.
Bonnie, keep up the good work. You've got an amazing voice, and your song's incredible. Just just keep doing what you're doing, and just keep believing in yourself. Keep doing it, and I hope you meet lots of incredible people on your musical journey. I've been lucky with the people I've met, and so I hope that you meet some really good contacts and make good contacts as your journey goes on.
She did say in our Q&A that is what she wants to do, isn't it? Music is very much what she wants to pursue going through her life. So
and she's in good hands with Thomas Cameron. He's
Absolutely.
a fantastic musician in his own right.
So keep in touch with Phluid Records, and if Phluid have been amazing to me, and there's other stations as well. Blue Torch Radio.
your check's in the post, Lyn, don't worry.
No, do give shout outs to everyone. Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, shout out everyone, because like I say, we love everyone here. So yeah, if there's any more shout outs, go right ahead.
I did say Phluid as well. I said Phluid.
Yeah. No. I'm serious. Anyone else you want to shout out, do it. Because we love everyone. There's a lot of great people out there.
I'm scared now. I'm scared to get in trouble with Neil.
No, ignore him. He doesn't run the thing.
No, definitely Phluid Records, Bonnie, and Blue Touch Radio, Big City Radio as well. And there are a few others prospects with but I've had a massive amount of support from Phluid.
Good.
And so there you go. I'll end on that.
Talking of Phluid, Lyn. Because we do a tipple of the week. We normally do it at 8 o'clock, and we're running late because we're enjoying chatting to you. And time makes fools of us all. Who said that?
Me yesterday. And the day before.
But we took on board. You sent in a tipple of the week. So apparently you're not a big drinker, or you don't drink. So we've got the Virgin Pina Colada as a, what do they call them? A mocktail, don't they?
Yes.
So shall we crack open a mocktail?
Yeah, and I noticed that I'm going to have to send you another invite in just a minute as well. So we'll have to possibly quickly get into this and into a tune while I quickly send
pineapple
another
and
invite.
coconut flavoured drink with Thai pineapple juice blended with delicately sparkling spring water.
Yeah, I'll just give the viewers a little flash of that on the camera here.
What could be nicer than that?
There you go.
So it's a mocktail.
Yes,
which is great.
This is Morrison's the best mocktail as well.
It is the best mocktail,
I think
allegedly.
we'll be the judge of that.
They're big. I was going to say they're bigging themselves up a bit there, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like Tesco's finest versus Morrison's best. Should we do a double open?
Yeah.
Should we go 3, 2, 1 open?
Yeah, and is this going to be like oratorial vocation, much alike of Kate Bush in her heyday? Or is it going to be a highly vocoded whimper, much like Beyonce in her lowest days? Let's have a listen.
3, 2, 1.
Beyonce.
It's a bit bushy.
Yeah, well, a little bit bushy. A little bit bushy. Okay.
Reminiscent of I Thank You, apparently, which was a very Kate Bushy.
Indeed.
Let's have a nose.
Cheers, Lyn.
Cheers, Lyn.
Thank you very much.
You haven't got one yourself. I would have sent you one. What have you got?
You should have done. Excellent. Oh, yes, the Flaps. On the
there we go.
Frappuccinos. I love them. They're really good. I drink too many of them in a day.
Well, ours smells coconutty and pineapple-y. which it should do.
Tastes like pina colada. Hey, that's actually really good.
Actually, that is really good.
Yeah,
good
that's
shout,
spot on.
Lyn.
Nice
that is
one.
really good.
Work. Yeah,
Welcome.
fantastic. Means we might
Enjoy
actually
my
get
tibble
through.
of the week.
Yeah, we might get through the show without absolutely messing up the last half of it now.
Well, we have got a couple of very strong beers on the table behind us, but we needn't drink them.
Yeah. So we're going to go to another tune while I send you another in.
Shall we have on? What about On the Run, Lyn? I've got that queued up.
Oh yeah, there's On the Run is good, but I thought I lost you there for a minute. I was worried there. Yeah, On the Run is a good one.
So you may lose this
there
imminently.
is
I think
the
we're coming
Road
up
Ahead is another one.
to the road
The
ahead.
Road Ahead. I've got On the
Yeah.
Run. I've got The Chase. I've got The Way Out, and I've got Pathways.
Oh,
So you pick then.
how about the Road Ahead? If you have the Road Ahead,
The Road Ahead. Have we got The Road Ahead?
and if you haven't got the Road Ahead, then the Chase.
The
is
Chase.
good.
Okay, well, let's have The Chase
Mhm.
while we log you out and log you back in again. This
Okay.
is Lyn Rajah with The Chase.
Enjoy.
This is the Wal of Paine show on Phluid FM.
We're just laughing about that, Lyn, basically because one of the bands that I play in, we're playing on Saturday night. So the working band that I play is called the Morzim, and we do sort of like punk, post-punk, ska and new wave cover. So it's quite high energy. But I put my back out over the weekend, so we're saying everything might be like a bossa nova beat this weekend.
Yeah, just rim shots all the way.
And I'll be just doing a little really mild version of that because that's quite an intense drum track on there. That's another one of your favourite tunes. I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a great
sorry you
tune.
caught me stuffing my face with pizza
No, that's
halfway
fine.
through.
I'm only jealous.
It's quite funny. You didn't notice that I put on the Jason mask to hide my messy mouth with pizza and got it in my hair.
Well, this time I did actually go to our music break screen, whereas last time when I sent you the invite, you could see me doing everything. But yeah, don't worry, no one saw you eating the pizza except us.
Oh, thanks.
And we're only laughing because we're jealous. Do you know what it's time for, guys?
Yeah, time goes so quick, doesn't it?
Who did say time makes fools of us all? Was that Shakespeare? I might have to Google
Leo
that.
Paine.
Yeah, exactly, me, yeah.
No, I know it was you, but originally, I think it might have been Shakespeare. What's our third track link, Leo?
Okay,
And remind
so-
people what the first two were.
Yeah, so our first two track links were, the first one was Americana by Lyn Rajah. The second one was Pretty Fly for a White Guy by The Offspring. And this last one, do you want to introduce this last one? Seeing as you've got it written down in front of you, it's
I
quite a
have,
long
'cause it's a
title.
long
It's super long. I'm going to be like
open parenthesis, remember me, close parenthesis.
I thought you'd like that
I'm
one.
the One Who Loves You by Watkins Family Hour featuring Fiona Apple. Is that actually going to be longer than our remix of the My Painted Smile
Yes,
end
that
song
is
tune?
actually a longer. Yeah, we're going to have
Damn,
to
we're going to have to add somebody in.
But
Right.
interestingly, so yeah, who was it again? It was the Watkins Family Hour.
It's the what? Well, it's brackets. Remember me. I'm the One Who Loves You by Watkins Family Hour featuring Fiona Apple.
There you go.
And it was Fiona Apple that you said Bonnie Faustina reminded you of in that.
Yes,
track that
because
we played.
Fiona Apple was.
Oh,
Yeah, do you
Fiona
remember?
Apple used to write the music for The Affair, the the drama.
There you
with,
go.
So,
two people like
so this is your last
Yeah,
track, Lyn.
well, I mean, this is because it ties into what we were saying earlier about the 90s soul singers and that. Fiona Apple, obviously, Bad Bad Girl, was massive in 1992 or 94. And she was only 15 when recording that album.
There you go.
And again, that's why I thought of her when Bonnie Faustina, was playing. I was like, yeah, wow, like so young with such a mature sort of sounding voice and lyrics and everything. Pretty Fiona Apple-y. And I was like, oh, what happened to Fiona Apple?
Fiona
and then I saw
Apple-y,
this
Kate
yesterday. I was
Bushy.
like, oh, perfect. There you go.
Our adjectives are just on point tonight, aren't they?
Apple and
Fiona?
bush, apple bush.
Apple bush.
Yeah.
Apple bushy.
Yeah.
Talking, Lyn, as well. You were bigging up Leo earlier, saying that you've worked with him and how good he is. We've had from Monty Tom from Bury St Edmunds has said, because my band, My Painted Smile, I say my band, it's a band I play called My Painted Smile. We did a song called Working for the Man, and Leo, I don't know if you've heard this on Spotify, Leo did the Bass Driver drum and bass remix. And Monty Tom has just come in and said the Bass Driver drum and bass version is up there with my favourite tunes when I'm at work.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you very much, Monty.
Cheers,
Really
Leo. So,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
we'll have to play that another week, won't we?
Yeah, not this week. But
Not this week. Not this week, because we've got way too many to play this week. And we're going to play the last TrakLink, which I'm not going to introduce again as the world's longest
it'll
title.
take you 15 minutes
But
to do
here
it.
it is. And then we want some answers to the
Is that at the
TrakLink,
beginning?
guys. And that was the third TrakLink, the song with the longest title in the world.
Yes. That was the Watkins Family Hour. Remember me, I'm the One That Loves You, featuring Fiona Apple. There you go, from memory.
Yes, absolutely. Brilliant.
Fantastic. Yeah.
That's a good tune.
So that was your last TrakLink. So
Any ideas, Lyn?
No, only apart from the idea I said earlier, no idea.
Okay.
Ooh, Monty Tom's coming saying they still think it's fishing.
Okay, so Monty Tom thinks the TrakLink is fishing. So,
I'm
Lyn,
intrigued by that. Like,
Lyn
why?
Rajah Americana. Did you take your rods to California, Lyn, when you went?
No.
No. Okay, Monty Tom, you're literally barking up the wrong tree or fishing in the wrong lake.
Swimming up the wrong
Swimming up the wrong river without
yeah.
a paddle. Why is it fishing? Monty
Yeah.
Tom, I'm interested to know
Yeah,
why
tell
you
us,
think
Monty,
it's
why you
fishing.
think it's fishing. That's intriguing.
It is intriguing.
I don't know. It's all in the name, really.
Here's
For
a
a
good
clue,
old,
for a
here's a
little
good
clue.
old classic, Lyn. After that, one of your choices. Love this tune. This is a happy tune, isn't it? You've chosen, which is surprising in all the other songs. Come On Eileen by Dexys Midnight
Yes.
Runners. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us why.
Excellent choice, sir.
Yeah. Tell us a bit more why.
Oh, I used to love listening to it when I was like 5. I used to really love like dancing around, and then when I was older and I go out nightclubs with my friends at university on a Thursday or Friday night, everyone be stomping their feet, and it's just such a classic as well. And
I agree.
I think Kevin Rowland's like re-released it recently, and yeah, it's just
Is it a
one
digital
of the, one of the best
remaster?
80s tunes.
A
Sorry?
Redux.
Is it a digital remaster?
Possibly.
Oh,
Who knows?
Ooh, we've got mixed feelings about digital remasters, don't we?
We do. I was going to say you're obviously a little bit younger than me, Lyn, because I remember when Dexys Midnight Runners came out also, and they were a bit sort of off my radar as a young punk and whatever. So it's like, oh, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't really like Dexys Midnight Runners. And under the whole leather jacket, Dr. Martens and bondage trousers, you're like, actually, I really do like
Yeah.
Dexys Midnight Runners, but I don't want to admit that I do. But now I'm much older, I can say exactly the same. Yeah, they're absolutely brilliant. Loved it.
Yeah, I find that's the ethos of many punks, is it? Like, you know, proper hard, nutty ravers, and then they get home and like listen to some. I was going to say Al Jolson there, to be honest. Shouts to Big Lad, he did an Al Jolson 1 hour mix earlier today. That'll be up soon. But yeah, he's like, you go home and you get into your little fluffy gym jams,
and you
with,
listen to this.
God Save the Queen written on it, and you listen to Dexy's Midnight
Let's
Runners.
have a bit of Dexy's Midnight Runners. This will cheer everybody
I
up.
saw him. I
you
saw him once.
Yeah.
I used to work in Islington, and I was walking down the back streets to get back to the tube station, and I saw him, and he smiled at me. And I told hubby, I said, I've seen him, and he goes, you should say hello to him. And I even saw him a second time, but I was too shy to go up to him, because I said, no, because what if I got up to him, he's like, who are you?
Well, no, I was going to say,
I didn't go up to him.
He went home and said,
I'm Lyn Rajah, don't you know who I am?
I was going to say, he went home and he said to his
he
wife.
didn't say this. I was just worried in my head that he was going to turn around and say, who are you, if I went
but
to
that's
hello.
your answer. I'm Lyn Rajah, you should know me.
Yeah.
No, what I was going to say is the other side of that story, Lyn, is he went home and said to his wife, I've just bumped into Lyn Rajah down the road, but I didn't want to say anything because she might not know who I was.
Aww, that'd be nice.
What's his name? Is he called Dexy?
I think it's Kevin Rowland is his real name.
Oh,
Kevin Rowland.
So
Yeah.
it's not Kevin. Oh, right, so where's Dexy then? Where's Dexy?
There's a story to this. Oh, I'm going to have to dig deep in my memory for it. But there is a story behind why it was called Dexy's Midnight Runners. It's gone for, of course, naturally when I need to.
Oh, it is Kevin Rowland. It says afterwards, Lyn. Very well. Good.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
What enormous musical knowledge for one so young. Look at that. It's incredible. Let's have a bit of Dexys.
Yes.
Come on.
Yay!
Brilliant.
Okay.
That is
Dexy's
a tune, isn't
Midnight
it?
Runners. Yeah. So thank you, Monty Tom, for highlighting. Indeed, he is correct. Dexatrine, even, sorry, was the reference to Dexy, and Midnight Runners running around at midnight.
Distributing it. What a great little middle eight that is, though, when it all stops and they go to that, come on, Eileen, to build the crowd back up. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good tune, Lyn. Now, I was just saying when we were off air then, I remember when Mark Lamar did Never Mind the Buzzcocks.
Yeah.
And Dexy's Midnight Runners. Do you remember the song Jackie Wilson?
Yes, I love that one. Yeah.
So on top of the pops, Dexy's Midnight Runners are in front of this massive back projected screen of the darts player Jockey Wilson because because the producer had got it wrong and put a big picture of Jockey Wilson on.
Wow.
And then Mark Lamar said, I can't wait to see what the back projection is going to be when they do Come On Eileen.
Yeah. Brilliant. Excellent. That's one from Nurse Carol there, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah. I used to love Mark Lamar on Never Mind the Buzzcocks. He was funny, wasn't he?
The Buzzcocks was a great show, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a good show.
That was a good show.
We're coming up to 10 to
10
9,
to 9,
so we're
crikey,
almost at the end of the show. Shall we give the TrakLink answer out? Because Claire's come in with a
we've had a
pretty
few
good
guesses.
guess.
Yeah, so Claire... Thank you, Monty. Monty just jumped in with "Come On, Leo." Thank you,
Come
Monty.
on, Leo.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah, actually, that is a song that was sung at me on the football pitch quite frequently. Come on, Leo, do something, please, anything. But yeah, so we've had a couple of. So obviously, TrakLink we still think is fishing from Monty Tom, but Claire from Vercannington from Social, she suggested, did the Offspring?
No, this is Claire from Claire and Big Ian from St Austell.
St Austell, sorry, yeah, I'm mixing it. Too many Claires, yeah. No, she's saying, did the Offspring have an album called Americana?
They did, Claire.
They did indeed.
Guess what track was off of that?
Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
It was.
So in a roundabout way, I think we are getting there. Your first tune was Americana by Lyn Rajah.
Yeah.
Second tune was Pretty Fly for a White Guy by The Offspring from the album Americana.
It was.
And the final track there was the Watkins Family Review, Remember Me, I'm the One That Loves You, featuring Fiona Apple, which is a classic example of Americana.
So
Americana is
the answer.
TrakLink, yes.
Let's give Claire a for getting that right.
Excellent, yeah.
That's our little
God, I didn't
bell.
distort horribly this week.
We haven't had that little bell for a while.
Yeah.
And we're very, very close to the end
We are,
of
fast
another
approaching,
show.
Yeah, 10 minutes to go.
We've got to give a quick shout out, Leo, you do this much, much better than me, to all of our things.
All of our things.
Platforms, social medias,
Yes,
etc.
indeed. Yes.
Just remember, Lyn, that after Leo's rattled this off, your home may be at risk if you don't keep up payments on it. He does this like one of those adverts. Check this out.
Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so if you are watching, listening, wherever you are, whether that's on vision.fluidrecords.co.uk or fm.fluidrecords.co.uk, you can find our entire back catalogue of On Demand at either of those sites. Vision for the video, FM for the audio. You'll find over 170 audio shows and over 70 video shows currently, and we're adding to them all the time. But whether you're watching, listening, wherever you are, please do feed the head of algorithm and like, share, follow, comment and subscribe. You can find us on all the socials. We're at Phluid Records on Facebook and Instagram, /Phluid Vision at Twitch, search for us at Phluid Vision on YouTube, Phluid FM /Phluid FM at Mixcloud, and also we have our Twitter, which is at Phluid FM. There you go.
And breathe.
Yeah.
That's a good one, isn't it?
There's quite a lot to get through that. Also, before going too far as well, there's a couple of things that we missed out on our gig, not our gig guide as such, because it's only just come up in between time, but there's a couple of additions to our gig guide that I want to just flag up. First one being Moana Jr. at the Minack next week. And this is featuring Robin Dillnuts.
It is.
Big shout out to Robin Diddley D's again. Fantastic actress from Callywood College. Obviously, we did our review of Things I Know to Be True earlier in the year. Go check out episode 4, I think it is, on demand for that.
Yep.
And she'll be in Moana Jr. next week at the Minack. Great thing for the kids to take along and have a look at, so get on to that. And also Rogue Otherworld have their Darkest Dance shows going on at the moment on the lead up to Halloween. I think they're running through into November as well, so last opportunity to see them. I'll post links to all of that up on our Facebook and everything, but I just wanted to add them in there because they're good friends of Phluid, and we do
that's our arts and culture pick.
Exactly, that is our arts and culture pick right there. Yeah.
And also, Leo, you will put this show up, so there'll be just our chat, Lyn, because what Leo does obviously on the Vision is there'll just be the chat.
Well, we'll have your tunes in there, because you're not about to give us a copyright strike, are you?
Oh,
no?
Yeah, we can.
I don't know. She hasn't
in.
answered. Like she might.
What did you say? Sorry.
I'll leave your tunes in because you're not about to give us a copyright strike on YouTube.
You can put my tunes wherever you like.
Yes.
They'll be in there in the highlights.
We got one last thing, says Monty Tom. Wedding bells for our lovely Tom and Fiona. That's my stepdaughter. We're getting married on Halloween.
Oh wow!
Spooky
Fantastic.
goings on there.
Yeah, spooky wedding like that.
They could go with their Jason masks.
Yeah. Well, so best of luck and congratulations.
Getting to the close of the show, then a massive thank you, Lyn, for giving up your evening.
Yeah, thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting so long to get here, and also for the little technical glitches I've had. But it went better than I was thinking. I thought it was going to crash and burn horribly earlier when I was setting up. I was thinking, oh, is this going to work? But
I think it all went well. I have massive faith in you, Leo. He never panics, this guy, Lyn. Sometimes I'll come in and he'll just go, and everything's off, and he just go, why is that doing that? And then literally there's a radio station 10 seconds later. It's insane.
You don't see me crying in the bath at 2 in the morning.
So, Lyn, I was going to say, do you want to just let everybody know where they can, not going back to this where do you live personal thing, where they can find you for your music? Give us a rundown of all of your socials and music.
Thank you to you both. Thanks, Leo. Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Phluid Records, Phluid Vision, and Wal of Paine show. If you want to find my music, it's on www.lynrajah.bandcamp.com and also on Spotify and Apple and Amazon and YouTube. So
excellent.
Get stuck in. Enjoy.
Any socials you want to shout out there?
Out there, yeah. You can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram.
And that's
so just do a little search. I think I might be the only Lyn Rajah on there. So
at Lyn Rajah,
it should be under Lyn Rajah
because we follow one another. Again, literally in the virtual sense. Kids, if you're listening, it's not good to follow actual people.
Lyn Rajah, musician composer on Facebook as well, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a little Facebook page. Please don't send requests to my personal Facebook account though, folks. Just the music one, please.
Right.
Personal one is for friends and family.
Exactly. Only. Keep it legit, people. I don't want to hear any more stories of fake senior editors or crazy weirdos like let's make a tune and whatever. I'll be looking out for you people. Yeah, I'll come and find you.
There's
Stop
still
and behave
Leo
yourselves.
on you.
Yeah.
there's still a lot of songs as well as Evelyn that we didn't get through, whether they be yours or your choices.
Is there time to play
Yeah,
a very
yeah,
quick
no,
one called and very aptly named The Way Out?
Well, do you know what I was going to say? We should end with The Way Out anyway. That's the one that I was thinking. But some of the other ones you've chosen in here, like In Excess and The Call and stuff, I mean, we'll hold those in there because we'll probably play a couple of those.
We will play them over the
next
coming
week.
weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
some of
it's-
those come from the Lost Boys soundtrack, but the one, if you want a really chilled one, the Captain Beefheart one, Observatory Crest,
Excellent.
is a really nice
let's
song.
have a bit of Captain Beefheart. Come back for a final goodbye, and we'll play The Way Out because that's only a very short track, Lynn. So we'll play Beefheart, and then we'll play you, and then
Well, we'll do Beefheart. We'll come back for a quick goodbye, and then we'll play On the Way Out. Yeah,
that's it.
sound good? Cool.
There's a bit of Captain Beefheart there.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Captain Beefheart, Lynn. You a big Captain Beefheart fan then?
I've no idea. I just heard the song for the first time when I watched Bigger Splash.
Okay.
Excellent. So yeah, film to check out there, Bigger Splash.
Bigger Splash. Observatory Crest. That's
Yes.
called.
And you were just saying about a good horror movie to watch as it's Halloween.
Oh, yes. So if anyone fancies a very spooky film, When a Stranger Calls, the original 1979 version.
I've just made a
Very,
note
very
of that.
creepy.
Who's in it? Who's the lead?
I want to say, I'm hoping I don't get names muddled up here. Is it Carol? Is Colleen Dewhurst,
Right.
who's, I mean, she's passed away now, but her son was in a film called Singles, which was about a group of friends sharing an apartment block, and they're all, half of them are musicians and stuff, and
Okay.
very cool film. So Colleen Dewhurst, I've forgotten who plays the detective, but he looks really familiar. Want to say the lead actress was Carol Kane, but
okay.
without cheating and looking at IMDb.
No,
need to double check.
that's fine. We'll go with that. I'm sure. Isn't it funny? I mean, we very often have conversations like this. I mean, I'm sure everybody does, but there are so many books to read, songs to listen to, films to watch that you just couldn't possibly in 10 lifetimes watch, listen, or imbibe them all. And it's such a shame, isn't it? Because out there may be your favourite book, your favourite song, and your favourite film, and you just haven't seen them. It's like a struggle. We're running out of time. We're running out of time, but we're running out of time perfectly, Lynn, because we are running out of time.
Yeah. I wish I could get that little pop-up to pop up on a different screen as well, because it keeps popping up on the stream.
Well.
But no, I want to say massive thank you. You stayed with us the whole 2 hours. Really,
Brilliant,
really
yeah.
appreciate it.
Oh, been
It's-
an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure for me as well because Leo is always talking about you, and
Oh,
obviously we
thanks,
we follow one another on the and I'm the one that runs because Leo does the Facebook and I run the Instagram. And I said I've just sent Lynn a message and I said what's the bet, and she'll come back because she'll go cheers Leo, and it was literally I went look she has.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
To all
I'm-
intents and purposes, no one would know.
No,
Otherwise,
but it's brilliant because I said she's going to think it's you, obviously. So whenever you get a message, it's definitely from Leo.
Oh,
yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah. God, that
Lovely
sounds
to meet you,
dangerous.
Neil.
Yeah, likewise, Lynn. A pleasure. We'll have you back, hopefully.
Yeah.
Once the album comes
I'd
out,
love
maybe going
to.
into the new year, we'll have you back on again.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
And then if
Thank
you're
you.
down in our neck of the woods, as I say, we've got these lovely ties now with the rock project. I'm sure the kids will quiz you to death on songwriting
I'll be, if ever I'm in that neck of the woods,
Yeah.
they can quiz away.
Yeah.
give us a heads up if you're
Definitely.
coming down.
Always
And-
very welcome in the studio as well. If there's anything you want to record while you're around, it's,
Or if ever you
anytime.
got if you're doing a kind of Zoomy thing with the kids and they want to ask a question, happy to.
Hey, sounds like a good
try
idea.
to
We
help.
could do a
Do that.
big Zoom meeting
We
with
could
lots
do
of
a
people.
Big Zoom meeting, couldn't
Yeah,
we?
that's a good idea.
That's
I like
something
that.
to do because we've got 5 minutes next week, haven't we? We could try.
Have we? Have we? Not in
No,
Moscow.
we haven't. We could try.
Massive shout out for that pina colada as well. That was very, very good. Good shout.
I like that.
I'm going to have to get
Most
some more of
refreshing.
them.
Lynn, we're going to say good night. Introduce the last track, if you will, very
Yeah.
appropriately.
Folks, thanks for listening to the Wal of Paine show with Leo Neal and I, and this is The Way Out. Enjoy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.